Yeah, it was just very uplifting to try and do things I don't usually do just for the sake of like having fun or like just for the sake of improving my mental health. Hello, I am Farah. I am 15 years old from Edmonton, and I'm gonna try a self-care routine for 1 week. There has been lots of stress, and especially at the beginning, I was like freaking out and panicking, and like I wasn't getting outside of home, and it was just like, yeah, I stayed home like all day, 7 days a week. I have to babysit my sisters. So there's been more responsibilities and more things that I have to do that I wasn't used to doing. So that's adding to the stress level as well. Having more stress made me very anxious, and my anxiety levels were up the roof. Higher stress levels have like made me more depressed and like not being interested in like even communicating with people because I just got used to like staying alone. It made me like lose some of my interest in things that I used to love. It made me just feel weird about being around people. I took it as a chance to like focus on the positive aspects that are still existing in our lives and to also still have time for myself because of that, because of the tremendous stress that has been on me in the recent past months. So it was, a chance for me to live a healthier lifestyle.
Right. Self-care is simple. I say simple is not easy. So it's sleep, exercise, diet, mental stimulation, and socialization. Those, if we can take care of those 5 things, we are in a very good place for mental health and brain optimization. Okay, so specifically sleep. In general, we need 8 to 12 hours of sleep. We need to unplug. We need to breathe. If we can learn some breathing strategies like box breathing or just slow, deep breathing, practice of gratitude. All of those downtime practices are really effective. Number 2, diet. For brain health, we want a general well-balanced diet with healthy fats. So things like walnuts, avocado oils, and we need to reduce the processed sugar because that triggers the stress response. So young people are not sleeping enough, they're not drinking enough water. And because of chronic sleep deprivation, chronic dehydration, it makes our mood irritable. We have trouble problem solving, we can't focus. And it sounds gross, but it's a really good idea, is just look at the color of your urine. And if it's not light yellow, then you need more water. Exercise, ideally, we want to move our bodies and get our heart rate up for 20 minutes a day. 5 days a week would be excellent. Cardiovascular exercise is as effective as medication for mild depression and anxiety. Positive socialization. So look at your social diet, I say, and have conversations, relationships, and interactions that are healthy. So avoid gossip, mean-spirited, cyberbullying, all of that. And talk about your passions, your hobbies, your interests, contribution. Have a good laugh, share a joke. And then mental stimulation, play and follow your passions and interests. When we seek novelty and learn new things, it's really good for our brain. So explore and learn at school, at work, or on your own.
For 1 week, I'll be doing 20 minutes of exercise and drinking plenty of water. I'll be aiming for 9 hours of sleep and no screen time before bed. I'll be doing some form of play each day, something that brings me joy, like painting, playing an instrument, or something like that. I'll also be writing one thing that I'm grateful for in my gratitude journal, and I'll make time for one meaningful social interaction or conversation with someone else. My self-care starts tomorrow. Wish me luck. It actually has been way better than I expected because I did get a good sleep and I'm not tired as usual, so that's good. I can like survive for several more hours. So and I worked out. Like I followed some random YouTube tutorials. They were okay. They were actually fun. For the play, I did some reading and I did some photography. I tried to make like a mix of things that I like by talking to someone and like doing the social connection interaction part. I actually found out more about people around me, and I found it very surprising how come we didn't talk about like how you're doing, and we've been friends for like a year. For my gratitude entry, I wrote a quick journal like entry while on the train, and it was actually very uplifting. I wrote that I was like grateful for like having family connections. It was just very uplifting to try and do things I don't usually do just for the sake of like having fun, or like just for the sake of improving my mental health. That's all for now. I'll see you in 2 days. It's going great. I got a really good night's sleep, which is really good actually. I'm taking this as a chance to like go to bed early, which is something I really needed. I worked out. Working out is actually my favorite thing, so like out of the 5, so that's actually really good. I was planning to do like photography reading because these are things that I'm interested in, but then I was like, wait, why don't I try something new, because maybe I'd like cooking. I did grilled shrimp, which is very simple actually, but it didn't taste that good. I mean, that's okay. It was like half burnt, but it's okay. It's okay. It's my first time doing this, so it was fun, regardless of how the outcome was. I'm currently reading a book called The Court of Thorns and Roses. I picked a genre that I don't usually read, which is fantasy. I do not like that, but the book is actually pretty interesting. Doing something for myself is actually bringing me joy. Like it's just good to do something that I want to do just for doing it. Like not because I'm like forced to read the book, or not because I'm like I have to cook because my mother isn't there. It's something I do just because I want to, which is actually very, very fun. So I talked to an old friend that I haven't seen in 4 years. I just sent her a text, and then we started talking and chatting, and I'm still chatting with her. It really reconnected me with people that I have not been in contact with for a really long time, which is very refreshing and like recharging is the word. On my gratitude journal, I wrote that I was grateful for being able to enjoy simple things like food, for example, which is something we should all acknowledge, because I understand now that even if everything is bad, or like even throughout these hardships that we're all facing, I feel like there are still lots to be positive about and lots to acknowledge that are happening in our lives. I was able to like think about what is making me happy and actually focus on that and actually dig deeper, and how did that make me feel. So today is actually I had the most meaningful conversation. So I was really glad to do that. I was brainstorming some questions last night, of some like deep questions to ask my mother, and just to know about her. And then I was so surprised by her answers. I seriously realized that I do not know her enough. But it was actually very meaningful. Like I realized the meaning of meaningful now. It was amazing. I felt so like, how didn't I know this before? On day 6, I said that I was grateful for freedom of speech because I am really happy that I have the freedom I have the voice to express my opinions and my ideas on things that affect me. On day 7, I said that I was grateful for my upbringing because it was really peaceful and it did get me to the place where I am now. Okay, less anxious. That's definitely should be the word. Less anxious. Yeah. This week should be stressful because like I have so many essays and I have so many exams, but like I'm actually smiling. That's awesome. To maintain that balance, it is really hard. And I think that this self-care routine really helped me do that balance. because I got to focus on my physical health, and then I got to focus on my mental health for example, like doing the something for joy. I definitely do feel better, although it was just 1 week. So I definitely think I would really achieve that peace of mind if I did it for longer. And if that is actually a routine that I can maintain for like a lifetime, then wow, that would be amazing.